Hi, and welcome back to Bounce Forward with me, Tiff Hall. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this podcast, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to elders, past and present. I had a great question come in from Helen. I love your running posts, Tiff, and you're really inspiring me to get started with jogging, but I don't know where to start. Can you give me some tips to get off the couch and run a few kilometers? My goal is 5 kilometers, but I have no idea what to do. Gosh, Helen, yes, progressing from 0 to running a 5 kilometer distance is such an achievement, and it's such a rewarding goal for many beginners. And reaching your 5K is a huge moment. It's truly epic. So I've got some little tips here to help you safely build up to running 5 kilometers, because the worst thing you could do is just get out there, put your runners on and go for 10Ks, because it will put you off running. You'll get injured, you'll be sore, and you'll just hate it. It's a slog. My first tip is about starting with a plan. Now, you can use a couch to 5 kilometer program, and these programs are designed to gradually increase your running distance over several weeks. It mixes walking and running, and you're able to run 5Ks without stopping. Then you've reached your goal. And there's many free apps and online resources. So just give it a Google and you'll find a really good one. Next, focus on consistency and not speed. So you've got to build a routine. Try to run regularly. Aim for at least 3 times a week. That's a good frequency. And consistency is your key to improving your endurance so that you can get to that 5Ks. Next, you want to pace yourself, right? Don't worry about your speed. If you're thinking I'm going to run 1K as fast as I can, it's just perfunctory. It won't work. Focus on slowly increasing the time or distance you run. The pace can come later once you've built up the endurance. Include rest and a little bit of cross-training. I'm very passionate about this. So rest days, your body needs to recover. Obviously, you can't run every single day. Your muscles need to repair and they need to grow stronger. And then the cross-training is really important. So engage in other activities like cycling, swimming, strength training, really great for runners on your non-running days. And that will improve your overall fitness without putting the extra stress on your running muscles, right? Then you want to prioritize your form. Okay, so how do you run properly? And I know I'm doing a podcast, so it's like kind of hard to show you here, but you really want to stay relaxed, keep your shoulders low and relaxed, and avoid clenching your fists and watch your stride. Avoid overstriding, aiming for like a really comfortable stride length where your foot lands under your hip. Next, I'd say invest in a good pair of running shoes. I'm all about this. Every 3 to 6 months, I get a new pair of shoes, and I'm really passionate about visiting a running store, not ordering online, and getting my foot type fitted, making sure that it's appropriate for my running style. And the right shoes help prevent injuries. I'm really passionate about it. It looks after your ankles. If you look after your ankles, you look after your knees. If you look after your knees, you look after your hips. It's all connected. Your hips connected to your, it's all connected. Then adapt your plan. So if you're feeling particularly tired or sore, it's okay to take a day off. Don't be like, I have to run today. That mindset doesn't work. Obviously, you want to stay hydrated and fuel your runs. So drink water throughout your day. Make sure you're well hydrated before you kick off, and eat a balanced, nutritious diet. Have a pre-workout. Have something to eat before you go for your run, an easily digestible snack. And I have some great episodes on pre-workout and what to eat before exercise. I can link it in the show notes for you. Next, I know everyone skips it, but don't skip your warm-up and your cool down. Very important. Start with some gentle warm-up or mobility like brisk walking, some band work, prepare your body for running, and then cool down with some stretching for some recovery. Next, you really want to think about setting those small goals. Like, don't think in milestones, think in inch pebbles. Break it down, micro goals. Can you run for 10 minutes without stopping? Then increase that to 20 minutes. And so on. I like to even focus on even smaller, tinier goals like jogging the chorus of my favorite song and then walking for the rest. That can really work. And then celebrate those victories, celebrate the small wins, and it'll keep you motivated. Another tip is talking about the treadmill. Treadmill is fantastic because it's got a little bit of suspension in it. And if you can handle the boredom factor, because it can get a little bit boring. Starting on a treadmill is great, and you can start with 30-second efforts with 30-second rest and build up to a kilometer that way. And I do love the treadmill, but I find if you go on the treadmill and think to yourself, I'm just going to run, it's super mind-numbing boring. You have to have a plan. So this is where coming back to my first tip of having a plan really comes into play, and saying, look, I'm going to run for 1 minute, then have a 3-minute walk, then run for a minute, and I'm going to do that for 15 minutes. Like really have a solid plan with the treadmill, because otherwise you're just not going to be friends. And then the question pops up to me all the time, should I be running on a treadmill as a beginner or should I run outside? It doesn't really matter, although the treadmill has more suspension, so it's going to help your joints. It's going to be kinder to your body, I think, unless you're running outside on grass, which is fantastic. If you're pounding the pavement, first up, shin splints can happen. It can get a bit ouchy. So start on the treadmill or start on grass. That's my hot tip. And just also be mindful of your breathing. Don't hold your breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and try to really control your breathing. It'll help control your heart rate. The worst thing you can do is hold your breath. So, just be mindful of your breathing, and just asking yourself, am I breathing? When you're running is usually enough to prompt that really good breathing pattern. And then I did a little episode on run clubs. Find support. Run clubs, they're the new Tinder, the new dating. It's great fun. You can, even if you're not single, go out, have fun with other people, join a group, find a buddy, share the experience and the journey and the motivation, and you can share your progress. You can even get support for coaching and plans. Good run clubs will give you a Couch to 5K plan. And just remember that becoming a runner is a journey, not a sprint, and be patient with yourself and enjoy the process of building up to 5Ks. With consistency and determination, you will reach that goal and develop that lifelong love of running like I have, because I just love it. The freedom of it and kind of running away from my children for an hour is just bliss. So good luck, Helen, and I hope these tips have helped. Thanks so much for listening to Bounce Forward. I love having your company, so please DM me all of your questions on Instagram at tiffhall_XO. Don't forget to rate and review me on your podcast app. Happy days.